I traveled over 5 hours to check out the NL Baseball Museum in Kansas City, Missouri. Right when I walked in, I was greeted by an amazing video display highlighting former NL teams and a statue of the legendary Buck O'Neil. I then headed into the museum's theater to watch a short film about the history of the league. It was narrated by the amazing James Earl Jones and was really well done. After the film, I began walking through the museum exhibits. Everything was organized in chronological order, starting with the early years in the late 1800s. The section included photos, scorecards, and even early memorabilia. Next was Drawing the Line, which portrayed how the country turned its back on Reconstruction. Then it moved to the 1920s when the league really started to take shape, largely thanks to the help of Rube Foster. This area also featured original documents from the league's formation and vintage equipment from that era. The exhibit then transitioned to the traveling men's section, which detailed how players got to games. It featured real luggage, a registry, game-used bats, an equipment bag, and even a metal nut cup. From there, the 1930 section told the story of the hard times during the Great Depression. This included a Kansas City Monarchs uniform, vintage gear, and even game-used gloves and cleats. Then came the golden years, which highlighted the peak of the league. This section had stadium seats from the East-West All-Star Game, a photo book, walls filled with stories from the press, and a room with newspaper plastered walls showing a short film. I also passed through a section about clown baseball teams, which existed to entertain fans, and saw great photos of the legendary Hank Aaron and Satchel Paige. Nearby, there was also a small replication of a player's typical sleeping quarters while traveling, and even a barbershop. After that, I saw the Changing Times exhibit, which focused on the war era and the efforts to break the color barrier, which eventually happened with the legendary Jackie Robinson. One of the most unique parts of the museum was the section dedicated to women in the league. It featured stories and busts of players like Connie Morgan and Mamie Johnson. As I continued exploring, I saw autographed jerseys, game-used memorabilia, items from the movie 42, legendary baseball cards, and autographs from Jackie Robinson and Willie Mays, as well as even more signed baseballs with too many autographs to mention. My second favorite part was the locker banks. Each one had a jersey and a Hall of Fame plaque from a legend of the league. And finally, my favorite part of all, a massive collection of autographed baseballs from players who competed in the league. It was incredible. There had to be at least a few hundred baseballs there. I finished the visit by getting a closer look at the miniature field of statues inside the museum, with of course Satchel Paige standing on the mound. And my final stop of the tour was the Extra Inning Museum store. I grabbed a pack of baseball cards and stamped my MLB ballpark passport to commemorate my visit. The NL Baseball Museum was absolutely amazing, and I couldn't recommend more stopping in if you can get the chance.